Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Holotag here, and we've got some massive leaks about Marathon's ranked mode, and if even half of this stuff is real, we might be looking at something that could completely change extraction shooters. Now, before we dive in, quick disclaimer, these are leaks and rumors. Nothing is official yet, so take it with a grain of salt. But with all that being said, Marathon's launching in a month, so most of this is probably pretty close to what we're actually going to get. But again, take it with a grain of salt. In this video, we're going to talk about what makes this ranked mode so different, what you'll need to actually get into that mode, and it really does feel like Bungie is going all in on this high-stakes gameplay. But remember, if you enjoy Marathon content, and you want to stay up to date, make sure you sub to the channel. Trying to hit 25,000 subs this year, and you can help me out. All you got to do is hit that button.
Push the goddamn button!
Alright, let's get into it. So you can't even queue for ranked without buying a Holotag first. It's basically an entry ticket. It seems that they're coming in 6 different rarities from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and pinnacle. Also a rumored master tier above that, but again, none of this is confirmed. When you die, you drop your Holotag, and whoever kills you can loot it and score points from that. So right away, every fight is going to have real consequences. The rarity is going to matter a lot, so a pinnacle Holotag will score more than, say, a silver. So higher tags, bigger risk, bigger gains. It's also looking like each rank will also have 3 subdivisions. So you're going to be grinding through like bronze 1, 2, and 3. If you play Halo, then you know how that works. But something that's interesting about when you take somebody's Holotag, it doesn't just give you points. It's going to expand how many credits you can score in that match. So you take down higher ranked players, you're able to score even more points out of that. But let's go more into detail about the scoring system. Your rank isn't based just on kills or wins, it's based on the total credit value of everything you extract with. The game literally is going to add up all your loot when you get out. Obviously, the most valuable loot is going to come from other players, their gear, and their Holotags. And it seems like if you fail to extract, you're going to lose rank equal to your score target. So if you're running a diamond Holotag and you die, you're going to take a 15,000 credit hit to your rank. There also seems to be a middle ground where if you extract but you don't reach your score target, nothing happens. You don't gain anything, you don't lose anything. You basically kind of just wasted your time and that Holotag that you bought. So the loop looks like it's going to be buy a Holotag, gear up, drop in, kill players and loot their stuff, try to extract. But if you're not doing that, you're either staying flat or going backwards. It also seems like you're going to have to bring in decent gear to just qualify for rank. There's a minimum gear score requirement to even queue up, so it's also something to keep in mind that you're really going into these matches and you're using some of your best stuff and you're probably going to lose it. So let's talk about zones. Not all ranked zones are the same. Everyone can access these low stakes zones. This is probably going to be where you're grinding through the lower ranks. Once you hit platinum, you unlock high stakes zones, and that's where the more serious players are going to be. Probably going to be better loot there as well. The zone selection will rotate weekly, so you can't just memorize one map. As of right now, the rewards seem mostly cosmetic in nature. Some you can equip right away, others will happen at the end of the season. Seems like there's going to be a ton of invested time into this stuff in order to get those end of season rewards. Well, let's talk about some of the obvious concerns that I have. Player population, we've talked about it before on if Marathon is going to survive and thrive or if the player count is going to be super low. You need enough people playing to make sure that the matchmaking is working. Long queue times and unbalanced matchmaking can kill ranked mode super fast. Another thing is the frustration factor that's going to go into this. This is way more punishing than just normal modes. You're not just losing gear, but you're losing points, and so much goes into this. And I think that's rough, and some players will love that challenge, and others are going to quit after their first queue. The last thing, and probably the most important, is cheating. If someone gets killed, by a hacker in this mode, they're not just going to lose a match. They lose their loot, their Holotag, their rank. We've talked about how Bungie is using BattleEye, and if it's not solid, it's going to, I think, get ugly really fast. But despite all of those issues, this could actually be huge for Marathon and extraction shooters as a whole. think most extraction shooters that even have like a quote unquote ranked mode are very safe with it. And it does feel like Marathon is doing something different by making sure your loot and gear and everything is tied to rank progression. Every single match is going to have real weight behind it. It really does matter. And you're also not just seeing like number go up or down after a match. You're risking your items that you've worked for to go in there and try to raise your rank up. I think honestly, if this works, other extraction shooters are going to immediately copy it. And if it fails, well, everybody knows what not to do. And honestly, Marathon needed to pick a lane. We've talked about that before. You know, it's always been up for interpretation whether this was for casual players or hardcore players. And, you know, Ark being that super casual, friendly extraction shooter right now, this ranked mode kind of answers questions pretty clearly that Bungie is really actually going for a hardcore PvP kind of crowd. And that's smart to me. They're not trying to compete directly with Arc Raiders and have this mass appeal. They're carving out their own space, you know, as an extraction shooter for people who want these maximum stakes. I also think that the streaming potential for this alone is crazy, watching people extract with, you know, multiple pinnacle holotags, barely making it out, the tension and everything. I really do think that's compelling content, and it could set a new standard for what ranked modes look like in extraction shooters. So like I said, Marathon comes out in like a month, and I really do think that Bungie is gonna, you know, confirm or deny this stuff pretty soon anyways. So will it work? Hard to say. If the anti-cheat fails, if the population's not there, if the balance is like crazy whack, it could absolutely flop. But I think if they pull it off, Marathon might actually change how we think about ranked modes in extraction shooters. The big question is whether you're willing to risk your gear and your rank every match, and some people will love that, others will hate it. You know, I play Halo ranked, and like, it can get super frustrating when you go on a losing streak. I was very close to Onyx, and then I lost like 10 games in a row, and it just made me want to like uninstall the game. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you play this ranked mode, or does it sound too punishing? Are you just going to stick to more of the casual side of the game? Remember, if you want to stay up to date with Marathon stuff, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!